Good morning. As promised, I'm here. It's the Thursday a week before we're going to work on our project together. I've shown you my papers that selected. That's napkins and wrapping paper and scrapbook paper, just all in colors and patterns that I liked for my granddaughter Jules' room. We went over the edges first with black gesso, but remember, you can do that with any color paint, or you can come around the edges with your papers, or you can leave it blank. You can do whatever you want, but we Mod Podged it down. Then we used the sandpaper to sort of level the surface in any areas that were wrinkled or bumpy. And this morning we're going to go with the Clear Gesso. This is the one that the brand that I chose, and I gave you a link for that. If you'll look a couple of posts back, good morning Candy, if you'll look a couple of posts back, I have some Amazon links, and this Clear Gesso, which is the one I've been using, this one for a couple of years, that I recommend. If you didn't get a chance to order on there and you just want to run to Walmart or wherever, Hobby Lobby, use your coupon Michaels, then you can get white gesso if you want, but we'll have to skip over a portion of this. If you don't have the gesso and you don't want to buy the gesso, I would go with another coat of the Mod Podge and decide whether you want that to be in a gloss, a semi-gloss, or a matte, depending on whether you like things shiny or you like things dull. I kind of like things dull, to tell you the truth, and gesso is kind of dull, but I use this a lot. So what I did was put a little in my lid so that I wouldn't be double dipping, and I'm glad I did this beforehand, because to tell you the truth, my lid was stuck on there and you wouldn't have wanted to see all the grunting and things I was doing trying to get this open. But anyway, what you do with your gesso at this point is, I'm using the same paintbrush that I used before. This is one that was left over from a face painting kit, and we are just, it looks white, but it's going to dry clear. We're going to there was a piece of napkin over the edge there. I'm going to do the edges too, because why not? I don't want a chance seeing where it starts and stops, so I'm going to do everything. So oh, about to dip in the wrong thing. I'm a little bit OCD on how to do things. I like to do my edges first, so I'm going to do my edges first. You can start right in the middle if you want to. You can do things the way that makes you feel good, because that's the cool thing about doing this kind of project. I wanted to go ahead and discuss a little bit of what our schedule will be for working on this project together. You can always catch it on the replay if you want to, if you're not able to come live. I know some of my friends work on Thursdays. A lot of people don't work, and that's their, you know, they're retired already, or they're homeschooling their children if they're of child rearing age, and they like to get things done during the day while their husband's at work or out of their hair, and they can work on those kind of things. But can you see, let me hold this up a little bit more. I'm gonna get this on my fingers. I can't stand to get my fingers dirty, but here I'm just going right over it. And even though, hold it up there a second, even though it looks like it's going over it with the white like that, it's gonna dry clear. So what, oh man, the tip broke off of my brush. Oh man, got it on my pants. I'm glad I didn't get it on my new shirt that Candy made me. Well, how about that? There's not even carpet fuzz in it. I'm just going to pick it up and do without the handle and keep on going, because that's another thing about projects, is don't let some little something ruin your day. We are going to have a good time with this, and we're not going to let any little something do it. Get what paints you can afford, get what products that you can afford at this time, because you don't have to have everything before you begin. You start where you're at and start with what you have, and you can move on from there. Good morning, Cheryl. So I'm going with the Clear Gesso just over the top of all the papers, and what this is going to do, the papers, even though they have some Mod Podge on them, will still be absorbent, and when we go to put our acrylic paint on there next Thursday, it would sink into the papers. The papers would absorb a lot of it. For one, it would waste paint, but for two, it wouldn't turn out as good as it's going to turn out if you have a surface, because what gesso does is give it a little bit of a sort of a grip, and that grip gives the paint something to attach to, just like if you're painting furniture and things like that. If you have a slick or an absorbent surface, it takes more paint, and it doesn't always come out with the finish that you want. And I'm noticing I got the gesso all over mine now, and I'm going to hold it up there for you to see something. On top of where my napkin was at there, see, it's all kind of bumpy under there still, even though I sanded that. But because this, good morning, Tammy, because this is going to be a mixed media project, we don't want it all smooth anyways. We're not trying to make it look like it came from a factory. We're trying to make it look like we made it, because we are going to make it. So what's going to happen now is this clear gesso is going to dry clear, even though it looks white and hazy right now. We're probably going to use some white gesso if you do have that too later. I wouldn't cover the whole thing with white gesso now because that would cover up your paper some. It's going to be like white paint. We'll use white paint in place of gesso for the other part over this if you get that. You don't have to get both at this time. I'll discuss that on Thursday. And the plan is, I live in Louisiana, so this is Central Time. Next Thursday, and I have no idea what that is on the calendar. Let's see, today's, what, the 5th? So that would be around the 12th, somewhere around there. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. We are going to meet here on the Artisan Market page at 10:30, and we'll do this project together live. I put an example of the one that I was inspired by from Amanda Hillman on the other page, and the link is there if you want to go look at her page of what we're going to do here. But my girl will have kind of dirty blonde hair because this is for my granddaughter Jewel, but yours can be a brunette. It can have blue eyes or have brown eyes. Those will all be up to you. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm still going to cut some flowers out of these pretty papers here that are going to embellish my mixed media girl's hair. But what we're going to do is meet at 10:30 next Thursday. I think it's the 12th. If it's not, it's the 11th or the 13th, somewhere around in there. We're going to meet at 10:30, and we'll do this project live. Expect to spend about an hour or so doing that. I'm going to allot myself an hour and a half, but I'll be gathering things together beforehand so that I can be prepared to be on here with you at 10:30. And hopefully, we usually go to lunch at noon, so hopefully I'm going to be done before then and have all my mess cleaned up. And we may still be working on embellishments and things like that, which can continue on, indefinitely. You can add more the next day and the next day and things like that if you want. But remember, gather together things like buttons and lace and feathers and anything that you think is beautiful, stamps with words on it. If you have a special saying, be brave, or you're so beautiful, or grateful or blessed, or something like that you want to put on yours, you can just type that in any font that you like on a piece of paper and print it out, and then we can cut that out word for word, and use some of your inks and things like that on the outer edge of that, and then glue those down on here. That'll all be done after we finish the girl, and then I'm hopefully you'll show me pictures of yours afterward. So right now, if you haven't purchased your supplies yet, there's still time, because all of the links that I put in there through Amazon or Prime, it'll still be here in time. If you want to go to Dollar General and get the canvas like I did this one, pick up some paints there, do what works for you, and just be here and let's have fun making this project. And I look forward to it, and I will see you next Thursday. And try to have this part done. That's why I'm showing you this ahead of time. I want you to have your papers decoupaged to your canvas before we start next Thursday. I want you to have your Clear Gesso or your Mod Podge, whatever you decide to do. I prefer the Clear Gesso. I want you to have that on there and be as ready as I am. This right here, I want you to have yours with whatever colors work, that you're going to work with for your theme. I want you to have that ready to where we can just focus on our mixed media girl next Thursday. So I'll see you then. Set a timer on your phone to remind you. Have a good time this weekend working on this part of it. Pick out what you like, fireflies, butterflies, dragonflies, flowers, whatever that you're going to want to use for embellishments. Have those together and have your canvas ready, and meet me right here, Artisan Market at Get Healthy, at 10:30 Central Time on Thursday. I think it's the 12th. See you then. Bye.